How's it going, guys? Coach Pat here with Renegade Rowing. Today we're going to take a look at Nick, and he's a member of the Renegade Rowing Club. He's been rowing for years. He actually just got off the water. He's been rowing with the Union Boat Club here in Boston. He raced in Head of the Charles this fall. And he's back in the gym with us, trying to get stronger, trying to get faster, and hopefully PR his 2K come Crash Bees in March. So taking a look at his stroke today, we're going to look at a couple of things. A big part of what I coach and what I teach is skillful rowing. So mastering the skills of rowing. And three skills that we always start with is posture, control, and connection. One thing you'll notice about Nick's stroke is it's very smooth. He's not in a rush on the recovery. He's very deliberate and focused. And that's one thing I really like about Nick and his rowing. He's got great control. The first thing I'm going to ask him to improve is his posture. If we play this at quarter speed, you'll notice that he gets a nice full finish here, and he's sitting pretty tall at the finish, but as he starts the recovery and comes through the recovery, he kind of lets his upper back go and kind of slumps a little bit. And we'd like to just see him sit up a little bit taller, have a little bit bigger chest, keep those shoulders down, and just everything stacked. And that's going to allow him to be a little bit more powerful through the drive and transfer a little more power through his body. So posture will be the first thing I ask him to improve. One thing I do like about Nick's stroke, and that I want to highlight, when he does get that, is his body preparation. So in terms of posture, he's got good posture here at the finish. He's laying back at about 1 o'clock. And as we take him through the recovery, you'll notice that he swings forward and he prepares his body for the catch by getting this 11 o'clock angle. So he's basically swinging from 11 o'clock here to 1 o'clock here. So that's a good thing. It's definitely something we want to see with all of our rowers. We want to make sure we're swinging through the finish and through the recovery and preparing our bodies for the next stroke. But the second thing I'm going to ask him to work upon, in addition to having better posture, which will help with this next piece, is not lunging or reaching for anything extra past half slide. So half slide is when the shins are about 45 degrees. So this is half slide here. As he approaches the catch, I'll play it at about 1/8 speed. You'll notice his body angle continues to change. He continues to reach for more. So at the finish, his body's here at about 1 o'clock. He swings through to 11 o'clock. He's prepared by half slide. But as he approaches the catch, his body continues to sort of fold over and he continues to reach, which may or may not be a good thing on the water. Length will definitely move the boat further, and reaching for more and getting a longer stroke will definitely give you some better numbers on the erg. But you'll notice his body angle has slightly changed from that half slide position. Not much, but one thing to notice, in addition to preparing that body by half slide, is what happens with the shoulders and the handle in relationship to the hips and the seat. So we'll play this and notice how as he approaches, so here's his finish, as he comes up the slide and recovers, notice how as he comes through half slide, his elbows are not quite extended and his arms aren't quite ready for the catch. So from half slide up to the catch, he has to get his arms ready and keep his body prepared. And what ends up happening is as he gets to the catch, his seat comes to a stop, but his hands continue to move, and then he kind of gives up his shoulder. And so as he initiates the stroke, he has to re-engage his upper back and his shoulders and his elbows to sort of make up for that connection and that suspension that he's looking for. So if you just kind of watch, you'll see him break his elbow fairly early in his drive, pretty much right away, and he'll have to re-engage that shoulder and sort of lift that upper back to start his stroke. Let's see if we can see it here. So he engages his elbow and sort of lifts his upper back, and they're moving faster than his hips are. So right at the catch, as you initiate the stroke, if he can find better connection and better suspension with his legs and his hips, he should be able to get more power into his stroke. So let's watch here as he approaches the stroke. His seat sort of comes to a stop, but he reaches and lets his upper back go, and then he has to re-engage that upper back and those elbows and those arms in order to connect and suspend. So that's something I'm going to have him work on, just by improving his posture, sitting up a little bit more, not letting his body essentially lunge or reach for anything extra. He's going to be focused a little bit more on the connection with his legs and his hips to initiate that stroke, which will allow him to accelerate the handle and get more speed through the middle as he comes into the finish here. So that's number 2. Number 3, something that we'll be working on in the coming weeks, is what happens through the finish. Is he balanced in a strong position, in full control through the finish? One sign of that is the feet. Ideally, as you come through the finish, we want to see him point his toes. Right now, he's relying a good deal on the straps, which means he may or may not be falling backwards at the finish. Ideally, he wants to be stacked on the sit bones, abs firm, everything connected in a strong position right there at the finish. One sign that he's not is that his toes are lifted and he's having to pull himself back up out of the finish with his toes. And you can kind of see that as he lifts his toes here through the finish. So we'll do a couple of drills with feet out rowing to fix that and just get some better timing through the finish, and that should help him get the last little bit of power and speed out of his stroke in the coming weeks. So let's get rid of these circles. We'll speed it back up to full slide. Takeaways, he's very controlled, which is awesome. Very smooth, nice level hands, horizontal hands. But the things that we're going to work on with Nick will just be posture, stacking his body, not letting his shoulders go as he comes into the catch, being a little bit more prepared, so getting his body over a little bit sooner, so that by half slide, his body and his arms are set and prepared, and he doesn't have to reach or lunge for anything extra. And then, last but not least, staying connected to the footboards through the finish, making sure we don't curl those toes up. One last look at slow motion. We'll go quarter speed. So if he can sit up a little bit taller, get those arms prepared by the catch, he should be able to get more power and suspension with his legs as he initiates that drive. Because right now he's kind of engaging those shoulders and those arms first, whereas ideally if those are braced and locked in, before he gets to the catch, he can focus on catching and picking up the tension on the chain with his legs and his hips. Ways we're going to fix that and help him with this is in class we're going to really dial in his posture in the back squat and the deadlift, and then as he gets into the Olympic lifts here in the coming weeks, we're going to make sure he maintains that and really focuses on the connection between his hips, chest, and hands as he takes the weight off the floor. So yeah, look for more videos coming up in the coming weeks. If you have questions, feel free to shoot me an email, pat@renegaderowing.com, or post your questions to the blog. But yeah, keep getting after it, and I look forward to hearing from you guys. All right, have a good day. Bye.